to understand astrology and to use it as a tool to take your destiny into your own hands, some thinking requirements are necessary. First of all, the two most important laws of the cosmos:
the law of polarity and the law of attraction,
which is based on the law of polarity. This video is about exactly that. For this I show you a part of my online course. If you want to purchase the complete online course, you will find the link in the description below. And now have fun with it.
We live in a dual world. Everything has its opposite. Plus and minus, man and woman, day and night, or good and evil. One pole attracts the opposite pole. We usually do not realize that the opposite of one pole is always present. If we overuse one pole and repress the other pole, it will grow in the shadow with us. We will then meet our shadow from the outside or by physical symptoms, which simply re-establish the lost unity in a detoured way. The weak attracts the strong, the booster the jealous, the intellectual the stupid, the sensitive the hard, the triflers the motivator, the worker the lazy, the egoist the altruist, the ruler the controlled, the guru the follower, the guilty the executioner, the revolutionary the conservative, and the helper the helpless. To feel more decent, the good person needs the bad person. A pole is stabilized by its opposite pole. We find this pattern on all levels. On the material level, we find in the tiny atom a positively charged atomic nucleus, proton, that holds the negatively charged atomic shell, electrons. In chemistry, the acid complements the base. In biology, we find the chromosomes Y and X. And in mathematics, we learn even in school that plus and minus attract. On all levels can be seen, the greater the deflection of a pole, the greater the deflection of the opposite pole in the opposite direction. But plus and minus are only the neurotic representations of a principle, insofar as the principle is repressed. If the principle is integrated, both poles lose the neurotic perversion and the balanced unity is achieved. This is the goal of every spiritual practice since the beginning of mankind. If we do not know how to integrate the opposite pole, our birth chart will help us. The duality is therefore the basis of the ecosystem of our cosmos. Everything else is built on that. The law of attraction is quite understandable. Plus attracts minus and vice versa, so that unity is re-established. If there is an extreme, it is balanced with the opposite extreme. Here is an example. If I am weak in enforcement, I attract people in my environment who enforce themselves with violence, because they need me as a victim to balance their extremes, and I need them to balance my extremes. Or I project the other pole somatically and become ill. In this case, it would be infections or other mass diseases. However, should I integrate this principle enforcement and train my disposition of enforcement and learn how to enforce in a healthy way, then I have changed the frequency and attract people who can also enforce in a healthy way. Then I don't attract any minuses or pluses, just people on my wavelength.
And very important and often misunderstood, the balanced middle is not a little bit of this and a little bit of that. The perverted form of a principle, when only one pole is used because the principle by itself is repressed, loses validity and dissolves as soon as the whole principle, both poles in a healthy way, are used. Therefore, Saturn, Pluto, Uranus and Neptune, which called villains in different astrology schools,
are the true planet's principles of luck, because they contain the greatest step of development when both sides of the pole are lived in a balanced form.